and no walking around, and definitely no driving. All right. We would need your video on, but your audio on mute. We will need your video on, but your audio on mute. And remember, when you are in a courtroom, you're supposed to be dressed. So there's this gentleman who apparently has forgotten his shirt in the closet. He's on iPhone. Please remove him from Zoom until he gets dressed. Mr. Glanville, do you see him? Thank you. All right, again, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure your audio is on mute, but that your video is on. For individuals whose audio is not working, you probably need to leave the Zoom and make sure that your Zoom app is connected to both the audio and video device on your whatever smartphone or computer you're using. All right. We're going to begin with our misdemeanor ORCA status calendar for today, May 3rd, 2024 at 9 a.m. This is a calendar involving misdemeanor cases in which individuals' cases have already been formally accused, bonds have been set, and they may have perhaps had prior court appearances. But today we're going to get status of the case. If the defense counsel and or defendant are present when you hear your name called, please unmute. Tell me who you are, just to make sure that your presence is noted, who is your attorney, and how you would like to move forward with your case. Today, with respect to the cases, there is a possibility that the prosecution, which is the Solicitor General's Office of Fulton County, may have a proposed offer for you to consider, in which case then I will reset your case to what we call a final plea calendar. The offer would be a recommended sentence in exchange for a plea of guilty or no contest to the charges brought against you or to a reduced offense. The other options that a defendant may have is to pre-try the case. In other words, I'll give you an opportunity to speak to the prosecutor to see if you can resolve the case today or at a later date. The fourth option would be the possibility of entering a not guilty plea and demanding a jury trial in your particular case, in which then we will reset the case for trial. If you're a defendant charged with one or more misdemeanor offenses, please remember that you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say in open court, your statements can and will be used against you. If you cannot afford an attorney, one of our attorneys from the Public Defender's Office will evaluate your case and see if you qualify for appointed counsel. I am not sure if I'm just looking at the chat feature. Who is on iPhone?
I'm addressing him now, Your Honor. I'm trying to figure that out.
Thank you. All right. I'm going to do are there any private defense counsel on Zoom at the present time? I think I saw Ms. Rothman. Ms. Rothman, good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. I have position number 1, Timothy Batten. We received the Georgia State Patrol video last night. We are still missing the Atlanta Police Department video on that, and we will likely have motions on this case.
All right. Who's the prosecutor in this matter? Ms. Kastadakis?
Good morning, Your Honor. That would be me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Ms. Githia? Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So as far as the videos, they were sent to Ms. Rothman's old email address, and that wasn't discovered till last night. So I did send the videos we had to her. And you said you're missing one video, Ms. Rothman?
All we have is Georgia State Patrol, and APD was the original stopping officer.
I will double check. I think we've already double checked, and there are no videos, but I will double check again.
All right. I can reset. And has the plea offer been transmitted?
Yes.
All right. Ms. Rothman, if you want to double check on that, we can hold on that video and see whether that's an additional video. Then you can give me your final decision as to whether you want to put it on a motions calendar or a final plea calendar.
Is that something the prosecutor is going to be able to find out during the session or?
I'm just gonna see really, really quickly. Give me a couple of minutes and I can give you an answer.
Gotcha.
Okay, all right, let's
Thank
hold
you.
on position one. Miss Watson Cafe, yes, ma'am. Who's your client?
I have Nadia Reese. She has 3. I'm not sure the numbers on the calendar, but she has 3 cases.
Was that Niece or Reese?
Reese, R-E,
All right, I see 3 separate matters.
yes.
From July 15th or September 8th of 23 and December 11th, 2021. Yes, how are we proceeding? And is Miss Reese present? Nadia Reese.
We spoke to her yesterday. She was going to be on the Zoom. I can
All right.
call her. But
Yes, yes, Miss Watson Cafe, how are we
Oh,
proceeding?
sorry. Yes, I have in my notes that I don't have discovery in 2 of the cases. On the one ending in 3919, I have all of discovery, but the other 2 cases I have in my notes that we do not have the discovery.
That's correct, Judge. It's been requested. The one ending in 14F, we're still waiting for the 911, the body worn. And then the one ending in 61F, we're still waiting for the body worn.
And how long has it been for? This is from the 23 case?
Yes, I've
Yeah,
requested this when the calendars came out from our investigator. They just, I guess, haven't heard back from the agency. So.
I'm going to reset this to the final plea calendar on June 7th. And at that time, Ms. Watson Cafe, you can make a motion on these cases. Is it on all cases or
Just.
No, it's
just on position 30?
31.
30 and 31?
And then.
And how do you want to proceed on position 29?
we have I was hoping for if not a global, at least one for the we have everything. I guess we can announce ready on that one, Your Honor. I was thinking.
Do you have a global offer, Ms. Casadakis, that you can transmit to Ms. Watson Cafe?
Yes, I think I already sent it to her the last time when we spoke in person, when she got here.
I mean, have you done so in the email or a letter?
Yes, the attorney and I have spoken last time when she was present in court
Okay.
about these cases.
Ms. Watson Cafe, do you have a global offer for these 3 cases?
Yes, but I was still waiting on the discovery. So
Understood. Why don't you contact your client and have her appear on July 7th final plea in person? And hopefully you'll have, yep.
I'm on leave.
Okay.
I thought you said June. I'm sorry.
All right, I'll reset it to August 2nd.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, it's June 7th. Did I say July 7th? It's June 7th.
Okay, yeah, June 7th, I'm fine, Your Honor.
June 7th is good? Okay.
Yes.
Is June 7th and Ms. Casadakis, do you have the global offer, Ms. Watson Cafe?
Yeah, she has it, Judge.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, I have the global offer. I was just waiting on a discovery to.
Okay. Hopefully you get it by June 7th. We will see you and Ms. Reese in court in person on June 7th.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Did you have another case?
Nope, that was all, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm not certain, but I think I spotted Kimani King somewhere on Zoom. And then after that, there he is. Okay. Yes, Mr. King, how may I address your case?
Your Honor, I have a Desiree Fagan.
Fagan.
We had agreed to a diversion, and she completed her diversion. So I think maybe it was put on a status just to make sure, but.
Yes, Ms. Casadakis or Ms. Githia?
That is right, and I'm checking with the diversion team now to see what is going on with that one.
All right, Mr. King, please hold, and as soon as Ms. Githia gives me confirmation, then the case is, will be dismissed or null pros by the state. Please
Yes,
hold.
ma'am. Yes,
And
ma'am.
if we could quickly go back to position number one, that one I will need to request the APD's videos.
Okay, Ms. Rothman, position number one is reset to June 7th.
And Your Honor, I'm sorry, I have leave that week.
Okay, it will be August 2nd.
Thank you, Your Honor. There's one more matter that I probably need to address, position number 25.
Brandy McQueen.
Yes, Your Honor, I just wanted to make sure the court was aware there was a withdrawal order signed on October 18th.
So you do
for,
not represent her?
That's correct.
I've got the PD Catrice Helen on record, so.
Thank
yeah.
you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. That concludes my business. May I be excused?
Yes, Ms. Rothman, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I saw Attorney Alex work phone.
Yes,
Yes.
Judge Alex Arca for D. Ron Williams. How are you, Judge Law?
Fine, thank you, sir. Good morning, Mr.
Good morning. Yes, Judge, I just needed to go ahead and quickly pre-try this matter with Ms. Casadakis. I don't know if she's the solicitor on
Let's
today or
see.
not.
Ms. Williams is Ms. for Markeia Williams. Is it you or?
Yes, Judge, I have 23 through 43.
Okay, sir, we're going to put you in a breakout session with Ms. Casadakis.
Okay,
All right, and as soon as I address everyone else, thank you.
thank you,
Any
Judge.
other private counsel? Ms. Rockwell, good morning.
Good morning, Judge. I have a couple on the calendar and not sure how you want me to proceed.
Just the
on
last
that.
name? Just the last name, and then I will.
One of them is, I don't know if it's under Billington Ivy or Ivy Billington, because they transpose it sometimes.
All right,
Position two.
this one
Position
is
two.
two. It's under last name is Billington, yes, and this is a DUI matter from 2019. Is your client present?
He should be, Judge.
Your
Let
Honor.
me, Mr. I think he is.
Where's Mr. Billington?
I'm here, Your Honor. I'm under chat
Let-
on the screen.
Oh, let me have him. Do you know how to change your name, Mr. Ivy, to your government name?
I do not.
We'll work, okay.
They've changed it
Okay,
before.
we got him, we'll change, it's
Okay.
changed, all right.
Yeah, okay, all right. I just reached out to Madam Prosecutor. I do think I have everything. Just a question, Judge. Your June 7th date, I am on leave, but do you have a a Zoom option for that?
Yes,
For final plea?
yeah,
Oh, okay, okay. So on Mr. Billington Ivy, that's his name really, Judge. It's
Okay.
Billington's the first name. So I do have everything. I just reached out this morning for just to reach back to the prosecutor regarding just some additional notes. Wondering, could we go to that final plea? And
right.
on June the 7th, what time is that, Judge?
case is reset to June 7th, final plea calendar at 9 a.m. And if you're appearing by Zoom, please be sure that all paperwork with regards to the plea hearing are already signed and transmitted so that the clerk's office will have them ready at the hearing.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you so much. I do have one more, but it's going to be a little bit more complicated. It's Catherine Kelly, and I do have the victim present to see if there's.
Just a second. Who's the prosecutor in position 21?
That's mine, Your Honor.
Okay. And Ms. Rockwell, would you like a moment to confer with Ms. Githia?
This one is
I
a
would love-
little too more involved, Your Honor. If we can either get it reset to another status or the final plea, because we're
Perfect.
gonna have to discuss this one at length.
Perfect.
All
And,
right.
Yes.
and I just, Ms. Githia, you don't have time to talk to the victim today, correct?
Not right now. Yeah,
Okay,
there's
okay.
a lot of
'Cause we
moving
can-
parts, as you know, in this one.
All right.
Right, Judge. So we can stand down. Let's just get a status. When's the next status, Judge?
It's actually reset to the final plea, June 7th, 2024 at 9 a.m. and that can appear via Zoom. Please make sure
Okay,
that
perfect.
any powwows that need to take place are done before June 7th.
Thank you, Judge. May we be excused? And are
Just
you
one-
doing the afternoon final plea calendar?
I believe so.
Okay, that is-
Just one
I'm
second,
talking
Ms.
about
Rockwell.
today.
1 second, Ms. Rockwell. All right, I've been caught on a mistake. The June 7th final plea calendars are at 1:30 PM, 1:30 PM. So, Ms. Rockwell, both your cases are reset to June 7th at 1:30 PM on that day. And, yes, I'm doing the afternoon calendar. Yes, this afternoon calendar.
Today.
Yes,
Is it the same Zoom link today, Judge?
most likely, yes.
Okay, I'll get in touch with Mr. Glanville if not. And Judge, the afternoon final plea calendars on June 7th, those are Zoom options, right? Because I
I'm
will
giving
be
you,
on
I'm
leave.
giving you the Zoom option.
Thank you, Judge. May we be excused?
All right, yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good
All
day.
right, Judge. Judge, y'all have
Your Honor, I apologize for
a good
interrupting.
weekend.
All right, Ms. Rockwell, have a good weekend. All right, sorry,
Uh,
Ms. Rothman, yeah.
Sorry, Mr. Murphy, Dennis Murphy, just wanted to let you know he is on his way.
Okay, we'll hold. Thank you very much.
Judge, I apologize for interrupting as well, but if we could take
No.
up my case next, my client
Oh,
is.
yes, I was
he
going
is
to
in
call
the
you
airport.
next, Ms. Diaz, yes.
Yes.
And
I'm
your
here-
client is Pacheco?
Yes,
Alday
Alday
Pacheco,
Pacheco.
okay.
He's here on the call. He's just at the airport and he's about to board his flight in 30 minutes. So I was hoping.
All right, we'll try to see if we can address this case in 30 minutes. And how are your client, this Mr. Pacheco
Yeah, this is position
is
33.
33. Okay, and how would he like to move forward?
We had tried to pre-negotiate this case back when he had an original bench warrant with Miss Mecca Anderson. He had been in pretrial diversion. We believe that he no longer qualifies for pretrial diversion. So
Why?
he had violated a no violent contact order allegedly.
So has he got another case open with the same victim?
This is the same case for a victim. He had completed almost all of the pretrial diversion actually, and he was set to close out his case. But unfortunately, it seems like the state no longer wants him to pursue that because of what they allege is a violent contact with the victim.
All right. So the bench warrant has been recalled on January 22nd, 2024.
Correct.
Is there a plea offer from the state, Ms. Kasdakis?
Yes, do you need it?
Yes.
Is it honestly, if because of his DACA status, he can't plead to family violence battery, which was the
All
offer
right.
given to Mecca. So we are just going to proceed and say ready on this.
All right, the case is going to be set for a jury trial.
Do you
That
know
is
what
gonna-
days those are?
Yes, it's going to be July 9th.
Okay.
Calendar calls at 9 a.m. Everything is in person. So no more Zoom.
Understandable, Judge.
Judge Law.
Just a minute, Mr. King. All right, anything else, Ms. Diaz?
No, I think that will be it. And we're just announced ready. May
right.
my client be excused?
Yes, a case management order will issue today, and we'll see y'all for trial on July 9th at 9 a.m. in person, no more Zoom.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Alday, you can leave too.
Who were we inquiring about, Mr. King? Who was it? Was it Ms. Kasdakis or Ms. Gutierrez?
Judge, I have 23 till the end.
All right. Yes, Mr.
Yes,
King?
Yes, Judge, my client, she fulfilled her obligations like within a week of our last court date, and she's on the line. I can't stay on the line for them to do what should have already been done as far as confirmed.
Mr. King, why can't you stay online?
Well, we're about to do field day, and I'm volunteering at my son's school, and
Oh,
and this is already been
it's
taken care of.
entirely up to you. I can reset the case because right now
I don't.
I
just
need.
need it dismissed,
No,
Judge.
wait, Mr. King, you do not interrupt.
Pardon me.
Please do not interrupt. Okay, if you have to go, that's entirely up to you. If your client wants to stay on Zoom, that's entirely up to your client. But I need confirmation from the prosecution that pretrial diversion is complete. So it's entirely up to the both of you. Entirely up to you. You want to leave? Leave.
The prosecution sent an email yesterday saying it was complete. I don't know
Mr.
what we're
King,
waiting
I
on.
don't have that confirmation. So until they give me that confirmation, you are free to go. And I can either, if there's no confirmation, I issue a bench warrant against your client. If there
Well,
is
I mean, she's on the
confirmation, the
call.
case is closed out. Do you want to
She's on
sit
the
and
call.
wait? Do you
So
want to
there shouldn't be a
sit and
bench warrant.
wait?
She's on the call, Judge.
Do you
There
want to
can't be a
sit and
bench-
wait?
No, I don't want to sit and
Okay,
wait.
then you're free to go.
Thank you.
This is the roll of a dice. Okay, thank you.
But she's gonna be there. She's there. I just want to
Where?
make it clear.
Yes,
She's
ma'am,
on the
I'm-
call.
Okay, Ms. Fagan can wait and we'll see what the prosecution says.
Thank you.
All right. Next attorney, please. On Zoom. Is there any other private counsel whom I've not addressed? Okay,
Michael Blanchard, you can take me now.
are you attorney? All right. Now, this gentleman who's on iPhone 13, you need to leave the Zoom and remove that background because it's disrupting with your video.
Fuck you.
Leave the Zoom and remove the filter with your cat in it. All right. Miss Maureen McLeod, I do see you on Zoom. Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Yes. Ms. McLeod, let me see, I do recall, yes, here it is, position 11, Jimmy Gilmore.
Yes, Your Honor. That
right.
is my case. I just received an offer yesterday from the prosecution. And I haven't had a chance to discuss it yet with my client.
Is your client Jimmy Gilmore on Zoom?
I am not sure, Your Honor. I was looking for him and I did not see him.
Why don't you call him and see if he'll join Zoom right now? He
Yes,
should
Your
be
Honor.
here to partake in all this wealth of information that's being shared with you.
Yes,
right.
Your Honor.
Someone is on Samsung SM-A037U. Please unmute. All right. Good morning. Ma'am, what's your name? All right. You cannot be walking around while you're on Zoom. So you either stop your video or you leave Zoom until you are in a immobile stationary position. Okay? All right. Please mute and remove Samsung from the Zoom. All right. Are there any other private counsel whose case I've not addressed? Private counsel. And one, Mr. Murphy. Good morning, sir.
Judge, I have Jacoby Kentrell Williams. I just want to speak to the state when we get a moment.
All right. 40, Your Honor. And is he on Zoom?
He should be, Judge. I did send him a message at about 5 a.m.
Jacoby Kentrell Williams, are you on Zoom?
He has been residentially challenged from time to time.
Okay.
So I'll try to, after I speak with the state, I'll try to reach you. Judge, I've turned my phone off since.
No, that's all right. You can leave it on mute, sir, if you want.
Then it starts talking.
All right. Mr. Glanville, could you stop the video for Norman Blanchard? They're still moving around and it's very distracting. Stop the video for Michael Paul B. Folks, if I see you moving around, it's very distracting to the rest of the videos, okay? So please, thank you. All right. Last call for Markea Williams. Markea Williams. All right. White, I'm just going to note him down as not present right now, and then we'll see how we proceed. Okay. All right. Ms. Rosenhuber, who are your clients? Just make sure the microphone's close to you.
Great, Judge. I am covering for Ms. Catrice Helen's cases. Her
Okay.
first position is position 14, Mr. Clarence Green. Is there a Mr. Clarence Green on Zoom? Judge, if I could be given the opportunity to try to reach him, I do have a phone number I can call.
Okay, Clarence Green, Clarence Jacob Green. If you are present on Zoom, this is a good time to unmute. All right, next case.
The next position is position 25, Brandy McQueen. I do see her on Zoom. I'll just announce pretrial.
Okay, and that is
25.
25. Here we
And so
go.
Miss McQueen, if you'll just sit tight, I'll give you a phone call after we finish the call, the calendar.
Next case, I have you for position 15, Cornelius Hillman. That's Mr. Haddad now?
That's gonna be-
Okay,
Your Honor, Mr. Hillman is on Zoom, Judge. I got an offer late yesterday. I just need to speak to him. So pre-trial, Judge.
all right.
I'll give him a call.
This is Cornelius Hillman, represented by Mr. Jawan Haddad, who's in the courtroom. Mr. Hillman, your
ma'am.
attorney is going to be speaking with the prosecutor, so please hold. You can mute your screen. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, next case, Ms. Rosenhuber.
The next case is position 28, Tiffany Perry. She is present over Zoom. Same announcement, pretrial.
All right, this is for Tiffany Nicole Perry, and yes, she's present. Okay, next one.
Next position is position 37, Ural Waters. I believe that case was null prost and
Yes, it
already
was.
closed out.
If there is a Ural Waters, he's free to go.
And then I have position 42, Katisha Wilson. Is there a Katisha Wilson present on Zoom?
Katisha Yvonne Wilson.
Judge, if I can, I do have a phone number. If I could be given a chance to try to reach her, please.
All right. Mr. Haddad, who are your clients?
Your Honor, I think that technically that's all I had.
Really?
This morning, yes, Judge. The rest
Okay.
happened to be Ms. Helen's.
Okay. Are there any defendants in the courtroom?
Judge, I can make announcements for the individuals in the courtroom as well. I've
Okay,
spoken to them.
go
both.
ahead.
Position number 5, Miss Paulette Brooken. She
Yes.
did qualify for the services of the public defender. She is present in court. I just received an offer from the state. If we could pre-try it, I'll report back.
All right, thank you.
And Judge, the gentleman standing or sitting behind me is position number 35, Mr. Torres Hernandez. This is one of Miss Helen's cases. If we could announce pre-trial, please.
Okay. Okay, have a seat, sir.
Jason,
Who else?
I only have one other case, Judge, position 43, Mr. Jason Wright. Is he present on Zoom?
Jason Wright. If you are present on Zoom, this will be a good time to unmute and let me know you're present.
And Judge, if I
Nope.
could just be given a chance to try to reach him, please.
All right. This young lady seated behind there, is she with someone?
I believe she's with Mr.
Are you with, all right. This gentleman just walked in. Sir, are you here for a traffic calendar or for a criminal calendar? All right, what's your last name? Scott?
Samuel Scott, Judge.
Okay.
And I forgot to mention him. Position number 32 will be mine.
Yes,
Samuel Lee Scott?
yes, and the victim is here too, Judge.
All right,
I request a pre-trial on him.
all right. Mr. Scott, please have a seat. Your attorney is Mr. Haddad. You arrived literally on the spot. Okay. And this is a pre-trial.
Yes, Judge.
Any other announcements in court? All right. Is Michael Paul Blanchett present? Michael Paul Blanchett? Not present?
I'm here.
Oh,
You
there he
muted me.
is.
Disable my video.
Start your video.
I can't. You disabled it.
All right, Mr. Glanville, please prompt him to start video.
Yeah, hold on, please. I don't even know how to do it.
All right, Mr. Norman Blanchard, please mute. All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Blanchard, Mr. Michael Blanchard, who is your attorney?
I don't have an attorney.
All right, would you have another case, 22 CR 4329G? All right, have you retained counsel since you were arrested for these offenses?
I go to the doctor and I've been on medication and I go to the therapist every 2 weeks and I have a job and I work full time.
Is
And
that
I
a
did.
long-winded way of telling me that you've not hired an attorney?
I don't have an attorney. That's not what you've
Okay.
asked.
Would you like an opportunity to speak to the public defender's office to see if you qualify?
They already turned it down.
All right, Norman Blanchard, please remove him from Zoom. Mr. Glanville, please remove Norman Blanchard from Zoom. Thank you. All right, Mr. Michael Paul Blanchard, I'm only addressing you. Would you like an opportunity to speak with the public
No.
defender's office?
No, I don't.
If you don't, you have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford
I'm not
one,
guilty.
are you going to start listening to me?
I am listening.
Okay, no more interruptions. You have a right to an attorney if you cannot afford one. The public defender's office will be glad to speak with you and give you free legal services if you qualify for their services. Would you like an opportunity to speak with them?
No,
Okay. And how are you pleading today?
I'm not guilty. And my
All
dad
right.
knows I'm not guilty.
All right. So your cases are going, both cases, on position 3. The one in which you are charged with simple battery family violence on December 29th, 2021. And in the second case, 22 CR 4329G. Both cases are going to be reset for a jury trial. And I'm going to, please unmute. Mr. Blanchard, I'm going to issue a case management order for both cases. You will have to appear in court on July 9th at 9 a.m. in person. There shall be no more Zoom proceedings for you. Do you understand, sir?
Yeah.
All right. You need to make sure that you are in court in person. And if you choose to have the public defender's office represent you, you can consult with them in the next 30 days.
Okay.
If you choose to hire your own attorney, please make sure you hire an attorney in the next 30 days so you'll be prepared for trial on July 9th.
Thank you.
All right. You're free to go. Thank you.
Don't.
Oh, 329. Okay. All right. Thomas Carpenter, position 6. Thomas Carpenter, position 6.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here.
All right. And who's your attorney?
I don't have one.
And would you like the opportunity to speak to the public defender's office?
Yes.
All right. We're going to make a note that you are speaking to the public defender. How would they plan? How are you all going to confer with the defendants on Zoom?
Yes, if anyone here wants to apply for the public defender's office, please place your phone number and email address in the chat function, and either myself or Mr. Haddad will reach out to you after the call of the calendar. Thank you.
Jaquarius Davis. Jaquarius Davis. Not present.
State's going to request a bench warrant, Your Honor.
All right, please request that at the end of the last calendar call.
Okay.
Position 8, Felton Evans. He's got 8 and 9. Felton Evans. Felton Evans is not present. Ms. Githia, any confirmation on Desiree Fagan's diversion program?
I still haven't received any information, Your Honor. After all of my cases are called, I will call over there.
All right, thank you. Jimmy Gilmore's already, I think that was Miss McLeod. She's waiting to pre-try the case. That would be for positions 11 and 12. Position 13, Wesley Good. Wesley Good. Not present. All right. Position 14 is with Ms. Rosenhuber. 15 is to pre-try. Position 16, Amber Leigh Jackson. Amber Leigh Jackson. Amber Jackson, not present. Miles Jackson, position 17, Miles Jackson. All right, Mr. Jackson, good morning.
Good morning.
And who is your attorney?
I don't have one.
Would you like to speak to the Public Defender's Office to see if you qualify?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, put your phone number.
I said that he did that, Judge.
He
I have
did?
a quick question. Did Craig Lewis state he was gonna represent him at the last hearing?
I don't know. I don't have him as
No.
attorney of record. Mr. Miles Jackson, were you ever represented by Craig Lewis?
No, ma'am. He did state that at the last thing.
Hearing?
My mom had reached out to him for a consultation, but we never retained him as an attorney. We were waiting
Okay.
to speak back to.
All right, we are going to speak to one of the PDs to see if you qualify. Please hold. Khalid Jenkins, yes,
Honor, I'm
Mr.
pretty sure Mr. Jackson did not qualify the last time. I'll double check my notes. That's
Okay.
how Mr. Lewis Crail ended up. Mr. Crail was present on another case and they ended up talking, but Mr. Jackson did not qualify.
All right, Miles Jackson, did you already apply with the Public Defender's Office? Miles Jackson,
Yes, ma'am.
and did you qualify?
I never received any information back. I sent.
Okay, please hold. Confirm that, Mr. Haddad.
I will.
Mr. Jackson, if you did not qualify, no, keep your video on. If you did not qualify for the Public Defender's Office at the last proceeding, then you were required to either hire an attorney or choose to represent yourself. So I'm going to get back to you once I get confirmation of what was the outcome from the last proceeding. Now you can mute your screen. Khalid Jenkins, not present. Edward Johnson, not present. Malik Johnson. If you hear your name called, it's very important that you unmute because at the end of the proceedings, bench warrants are going to be issued for individuals who do not appear. A bench warrant is an arrest warrant for an individual who doesn't show up in court. So Malik Johnson, no?
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm here for that case. I'm the victim in that case, but I'm not sure Malik is on the call.
All right, well, as the alleged victim, you have no obligations to respond for him. So, but it's noted that you're present. But Mr. Malik Johnson's not present, so please hold.
Yes, Your Honor.
Position 22, Sharonda Lamar.
Here.
All right, thank you. Ms. Lamar, who's your attorney?
I'm not sure.
Your Honor,
I'm not.
Are you in bed? Are you sitting in a bedroom?
Yes.
Are you sitting in a bed? When is the last time you sat on a bed when you were in court? Get out of bed. Get to a chair. Honestly, it's called the boudoir court. All right.
Your Honor,
Miss, is that your client, Mr. Haddad?
it's a public defender case, Judge. So I mean, it was a transfer from division. I noticed Julia Hawley is an attorney in our office, Judge.
Okay, you want a chance to speak with her?
Yes, Judge, pre-trial. If she can just put her
pre-trial?
information.
Okay.
If you can put your phone number in the chat, Ms. Lamar, I'll give you a call. Thank you, Judge.
Okay.
All right. Please mute your screen, Ms. Lamar. Tonetta Luster. Not present?
I'm here.
All right, let's go ahead and change her name to Tonetta, from Samsung to Tonetta Luster. Ms. Luster, who's your attorney?
I don't have an attorney.
Would you like to speak with the Public Defender's Office, or would you like to represent yourself?
I'm fine with the public defender. I
All
will.
right. You need to put your name. Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you do not have an attorney and you would like to see if you qualify for the Public Defender's Office, please put your name and your phone number in the chat so that the public defenders may take a note of it and call you shortly. All right, Ms. Luster, please hold. Anthony McClure. Anthony McClure, not present. Position 26, Rita Mitchell. Rita
Anthony
Mitchell.
McClure present. Anthony McClure present.
That is a man's voice. Is your name Rita Mitchell?
I think he said
No, Anthony McClure.
Anthony McClure, you need your video on, sir?
I'm on my way home.
All right, we're going to remove you from Zoom, and as soon as you get home, make sure you join Zoom again so you can be present for court. All
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
Because I
Yes,
have
ma'am.
no idea who is responding. So right now you're listed as not present. Please remove that Zoom panel from the session. And that was Anthony McClure, right? So that put a question mark on that. Rita Mitchell, not present. Lavelle Paget Jr. Lavelle Paget Jr. Not present. Okay, zooming on to position 34, Tranisha Taylor. Tranisha Taylor. Tranisha Taylor is not present. Position 36, YACT. I think you pronounce that as Yacht Villa, Villa. Yacht Villa. Yacht Villa, not present. 38, Deron Williams. Deron Williams. Deron Williams.
It's also position number 39, Judge, looks
Oh.
like private attorney.
Mr. Brian Howard, Attorney Brian Howard.
Judge, that's the one that you wanted me to talk to Mr. Alex, ARCA. They work together in the same office.
With whom are you speaking?
His name is Mr. Alex ARCA. They
Okay.
work with.
Oh,
Mr.
I see.
Howard.
Okay. That was for 38 and
Yes.
39.
Yes, Judge.
I thought it was 41.
No, 38 and 39.
Okay. And Mr. Murphy, we're still waiting on your client, Jacoby Williams. All right, he's still not present, right? This gentleman stood up. What's your name, sir? Oh, okay. Markeia Williams. Still not present. Katesia Wilson.
Hello?
Markeia Williams. Did someone respond?
Hello, my name is Malik Johnson. You called my name?
You need your video on?
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
20. Gosh, I called your name about 10 minutes ago. All right. Malik Johnson is present. And Mr. Johnson, who is your attorney?
Oh, I don't have one.
Will you stop moving and have a seat?
I just moved into my apartment. I don't have no furniture or nothing.
You can sit on the floor. All right, Mr. Johnson, this case has been pending since 2019. Have you conferred with the Public Defender's Office to see if you qualify?
No, ma'am.
Would you like an opportunity to see if you qualify?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, put your name and phone number in the chat and then wait for the Public Defender's Office to call you. Please mute your screen and do not move around. All right, going back to position 42, Katesia Wilson.
Judge, that's Miss Helen's case. I think we're just waiting for her to appear. I have a
Okay, and Jason Wright.
same announcement, Judge.
Okay. All right, Miss McLeod, you are going into a breakout session with whom?
With me, Your Honor.
All right. I'll be right with you. Maureen McLeod?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you were going to go into a breakout session for your client with Sarita
Yes, ma'am.
Githia. Mr. Glanville, if you please set up a breakout session for Miss Sarita Githia. And
It's
you
been
may
done, Your
also
Honor.
send, thank you. All right, Ms. Kassadakis, you're going to begin with counsel, Mr. Alex. Alex, work phone. Counsel for Deron Lavelle Williams.
Okay, to the courtroom.
Yes, Judge. I'm
I haven't signed any of them.
about to do a Zoom hearing. Can I have 5 minutes and come right back?
It's on Zoom. And
Okay, we're going to hold on you.
physically
You represent Mr. Williams, right?
Thank you, Judge.
So I
All
will
right.
do two
Yes.
attorneys first.
Okay, let's go ahead and mute his screen. All right, Mr. Position 41, and that was, no, that was the wrong one.
That's
Okay.
38 and 39 is.
All right. Who's your next breakout, Ms. Kassadakis?
No one, Judge. I'm just waiting for Mr. Murphy to come back from the hallway.
Okay, so Ms. Githier has got all the breakouts right now. Position 15, 35, and 32. And 11. Oh, 35 and 32 requested a breakout. I think PDs also had a couple of pre-tries that they wanted to address. Were any of them with Ms. Kassadakis?
There's a couple, Judge. Yeah.
All right. All right, Ms. Fagan, and when Ms. Githier gives us confirmation about your diversion, then I can release you. But until that's confirmed, you'll have to remain on Zoom. For
No
those
problem.
of you who have sent in your name and phone number for the PDs to call you back, please hold and they will take each of you in turn. They may call you on the device that you are holding right now. So you can either take the call and then come back in on Zoom, or if your device allows you to take a call and remain on Zoom, that would be great. Okay? Are there any other private attorneys who are waiting for a breakout or pre-trial? Okay. We'll be in recess until we get another status. Ms. Brandy McQueen, have I addressed your case?
You have, Judge, I'll.
That's your client. All right, thank you.
And Judge, it looks like a few people might have come in late. They were in the wrong courtroom. I
No
don't know
problem.
anyone wants
If
to-
you didn't hear your name called and you just walked in, please stand up. Are you both defendants? Okay. I've already got your name, sir. You're good. All right. What's your last name?
Clarence Green, Judge, that should be
Green.
position 14, if I'm not mistaken. That's Miss Helen's case. If we could announce pre-trial, please.
Okay. Mr. Green, thank you for showing up. And your attorney right now is Miss Catrice Helen with the Public Defender's Office, but Miss Rosenhoover is covering for her today. So she's going to confer with the prosecutor to see how your case is going to move forward. Please have a seat. Okay, so that's going to be a pre-trial, and that would be with Ms. Githier, I gather. That's her selection. Okay. All right, and who else? Yes, your name, sir? Spell it. Bila. What language do you speak? Spanish. Does he have an attorney? Would he like to see if he qualifies for the Public Defender's Office? All right, Ms. Rosenhoover, please add that to the list. He would need to speak to one of the attorneys with the Public Defender's Office. He needs to wait. Next time, if he shows up late for court, he could be arrested. So please let him know it's very important to show up to court on time. I understand you didn't know where you're supposed to go, but that's important, okay? Thank you. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm hanging up for him, but he's MIA in that.
So your household is household.
Sense. All right. He's either homeless again or.
Oh, okay, that's very good. So my
I did spoils.
All right, Mr. Murphy, how are we going to proceed with your case?
The state has given me the offer. I've had the discovery and all that. I sent text messages to Mr. Williams. Here's he's MIA again.
All right, I'll give him one more chance. He needs to come to court in person for a final plea. If he's accepting whatever the state's offering. Yeah, no, not July 9th. It's going to be June 7th at 1:30 p.m. in person only. All right, so. All right, so final plea calendar, please understand this is in person only. And this will be June 7th at 1:30 p.m. Thank you, Mr. Murphy. Mr. Glanville, can we get a Spanish interpreter on Zoom so that Ms. Rosenhuber could have an opportunity to speak with a potential client?
Appreciate it.
It has to be requested beforehand, Your Honor. Does
I
it-
know. Just by any chance, if Ms. Chauncey,
If not, let's see what I can do.
we're just trying. Thank you.
Okay.
Judge Law,
Yes, sir.
thank you for being patient with me, Judge. I just had to, I had a first appearance going on at the same time, but I am representing Deron Williams.
Yes, just to confirm, that was Deron Lavelle Williams, correct?
That is correct, Judge.
All right, and I'm going to put you in a breakout with Miss Georgia Kassadakis.
Absolutely. I love her. She's fantastic.
Well, remember that after you come up from the Zoom.
I
Okay,
love Judge. All right.
all right, Mr. Glanville, I think Miss Kassadakis, are you on, Miss Kassadakis? All right, so, please place Miss Kassadakis and Mr. Alex in a breakout. Thank you.
We're together. Oh, I know it's ORCA.
Okay.
Judge, I did leave, the order for Jay, the new bond order with the clerk. Jay Reed yesterday.
Oh, yes, okay,
I got his champion's email.
okay,
Leave the bond order there.
noted. Thank you. Ms. Githia, have you concluded your breakout?
Yes, Ms. McLeod and I have spoken. We've discussed the matter. Mr. Gilmore, has he appeared yet?
I have not. Jimmy Gilmore, no, just his counsel.
Okay. So yeah, we're gonna, if he doesn't appear, the state's gonna request a bench warrant, but we have discussed the case.
All right. Ms. McLeod?
Yes, Your Honor, I would ask the court to give me an opportunity until the end of the calendar at least to try and get a hold of him.
All right. Any, so there's been no discussions until he shows up. Is that correct?
Ms. McLeod and I discussed the case.
Talked about the
These cases, yes, we discussed the cases.
I will hold off on Mr. Gilmore until he appears on Zoom. All right, Ms. Githiev, I believe your next case will be with position, let me see. I have positions 21, 14, 15, 35, 32, and I think 5.
You said 21. That one has been reset with Miss Rockwell.
Okay, oh, that's right, okay. I thought we were going to break. I've just got case numbers listed over here. Let me see, 14, Clarence Green is talking to, he's present, okay. Oh, Mr. Haddad, I don't know, Mr. Haddad, are you on Zoom? Is he outside talking? All right, you have a pre-try with Mr. Haddad for position 15.
Okay.
And then I think that was it. And then the other cases, 6 and 17 and 22, those are yours as well, right?
Correct.
And I think the PD's office is seeing first if they qualify.
Okay.
Then they will speak with you. Could you confirm on Miss Fagan then while you are waiting?
Yeah, I'm trying, Your Honor. I've reached out to the director of diversion as well. Maybe if we can, we're just trying to make sure the paperwork is in order.
All right.
If it is, I can null process at a later time.
All right, Ms. Fagan, do you have a copy of the email that your attorney says confirms that you've confirmed diversion?
Yeah, and we have forwarded those. I'm sorry, not to interrupt. We have forwarded that information to diversion, but diversion is the one that has to, dot the i's, cross the t's, and issue that null process order. If we can put it on the calendar for next week, if it's been everything is taken care of, I can null process it, or if you try to get it resolved.
All right, Ms. Fagan, your attorney has other prior engagement. What would you like to do?
She said next week they can let me know.
Give me 1 second.
Well, it's not going to be on a calendar next week. It's going to be on a calendar on June 7th at 1:30 p.m.
And if it gets, we can handle everything, we'll dismiss it, but we just need to make sure everything has been resolved on diversion side.
Yes, ma'am, you can do that.
All right, your case is reset to June 7th at 1:30 p.m.
Is it Zoom or do I have to come?
It's Zoom, You can show up on Zoom.
Okay,
You
no
and your
problem.
attorney, Mr. King.
No problem, thank you.
All right, and what position number was that? 15. Sorry? 10, okay. So 10 is reset to June 7th at 1:30 p.m. via Zoom to confirm diversion and null pros.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, Ms. Fagan. You're free to go. All right, I'm just waiting on Ms. Rosenhuber and Mr. Haddad to let me
I'll get on
know.
the phone with her now, Your Honor.
All right. Is there anyone on Zoom who has just appeared and not heard his or her name called? Ms. Rosenhuber? Yeah, Ms. Githier is ready for any pre-tries if you have them. Okay.
Your Honor, I just came in the call and I'm an hour behind Texas.
That's no excuse, but I still need your video on in order to address you.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay.
Are you driving?
Yes, I had to.
We are going to
pick up-
remove you from Zoom, and then when you pull over, you can join Zoom again. Please remove Kelsey's iPhone from Zoom.
Judge, I'll have an announcement whenever the court is ready.
I'm ready.
Mr. Alex ORCA.
Yes.
Position 38 and 39.
Yes, ma'am.
If we can put that on a final plea, he's got the offer. It consists of 30-day jail time and wants an opportunity to talk to the client. So if we can place him on the next final plea.
Okay. Mr. Arca, for Deron Lovell Williams, the case is reset to June 7th at 1:30 p.m.
And well, Judge, will that be in person?
That would be in person only. You and your client must be present in person. If he does accept the plea, please make sure that all documents are signed and transmitted so that the clerk's office would have them ready prior to the calendar call.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate that. May I be excused, Judge?
Yes, sir. You and your client are excused. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Kasdakis, your next pre-try is, I think, we're just waiting on Public Defender's Office to confirm who's going to be representing. Yes. Okay.
I believe I'm having connection issues. If anyone hear me?
All right, Mr. Malik Johnson, you need to unmute and start your video. Okay. You've left your phone number in the chat
Yes, ma'am.
and so you're waiting on the Public Defender's Office to call you. You just have to wait till they call you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can mute your screen. Thank you. If you need to move around, stop your video until you get back to a immobile position or you hear your name called. All right. Yes, Miss Kelsey iPhone, are you parked now?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
And what's your
Honor.
name, please?
Kelsey Eustachio.
El Sakio.
Eustachio with an E.
Who's your attorney?
Not exactly sure.
I don't have an El Sakio on this calendar. What case are you appearing for?
I don't know. I got an email saying that that I was a victim advocate for the Fulton County Solicitor General's office.
Are
and
you a victim in a case or are you the defendant?
Victim?
Okay. And who's the defendant?
Is it Deron Williams?
Yes, Deron Williams' case is reset to June 7th at 1:30 p.m. And he and his attorney are going to appear in person in courtroom G33. If you would like to appear, you need to contact Victim Advocate's Office for the Zoom link at the next proceeding.
Okay, I don't live in Georgia, so it would have to be Zoom meeting. I have to contact who you said, I'm sorry?
The Victim Advocate's Office, the same people who sent you this Zoom link.
Okay.
And just remember, if you're in a different time zone, please make accommodation because you're required to appear Eastern Standard Time.
Okay. And can I ask you one other question?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
He, I believe, is currently incarcerated. Does he still go to that court?
I have no comment on that issue.
Okay. Okay, Your Honor. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're free to go, Miss Kelsey. Thank you.
Your Honor, may I make a couple announcements?
Sure, Mr. Dutt. Yes, sir.
Your Honor, on position number 15, Mr. Hillman,
15, Mr. Cornelius Hillman. All right.
he's on Zoom, Judge. It's gonna be a plea. I emailed Ms. Githea to send me the DocuSign, and once it's signed, obviously, well, once it's submitted, I'll sign it. So that should be a plea this morning.
Okay. Have you already spoken to him about?
Yes.
Okay. And are you going to talk to him once the paper, or you've already sent the
Yeah.
paperwork?
I'm
You've already-
doing the paperwork now.
I see.
No, I went-
Understood.
Yeah, I just went over the
All right.
paperwork with him. I mean, I'm ready once I sign it.
All right.
Position number 22, Judge, Ms. Lamar. If I can ask to reset it for a final plea, this is the first time I spoke to her. There may be some outstanding discovery, so I do have a good contact number for her.
All right. Let me see. Sharonda Lamar.
She's under Rhonda Lamar. Ms. Lamar?
Ms. Lamar, please start your video and unmute. Yeah.
I'll call her back, Judge.
All right, I'm going to reset her case to a final plea, which is June 7th. Is that a good day for you, Mr. Haddad?
I'll be here, Judge.
Okay. Reset June 7th at 1:30 PM. And this is.
I'm here.
All right, Ms. Lamar,
Yes.
Defense Counsel, Mr. Haddad, is requesting the case be reset to the final plea calendar. So you're required to appear in court in person on June 7th this year at 1:30 PM, in person only.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, you're free to go. Thank you.
And Your Honor, to revisit, and I know I was outside the courtroom, so I don't know if that was addressed. Position number 17, Miles Jackson.
Miles Jackson, yes.
All right, and so this is what transpired on Mr. Jackson. He applied for our offices the day before court. He did not qualify. When he appeared the next day, he said that he's going to retain private attorney.
Okay,
So technically,
just hold, please. Mr. Jackson, please unmute. Okay, so he does not qualify and he was supposed to hire a private attorney.
right,
Okay.
but in defense of his judge, I did not tell him that he does not qualify because the day he showed up in court, as I'm about to tell him that he does not qualify, he mentioned that he's going to retain private counsel. So he does not qualify. I officially never told him he did not qualify under the circumstances. So,
Okay,
but he
thank
still
you.
doesn't qualify, Judge.
This is Miles Jackson, position number 17. Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am, I'm here, Judge.
Mr. Jackson, you do not qualify for the public defender's office. Your case is going to be reset to June 7th at 1:30 PM. For you to either retain counsel. So you have, this is going to be on June 7th. So you need to, if you choose to hire an attorney, you have the next 30 days to hire an attorney. Because after that, you must appear in court, in person, no more Zoom.
Yes.
And at that time, you can let us know how you'd like to proceed with your case. Presently, you are charged with theft by receiving stolen property, driving while license suspended or revoked, acquiring a license plate for purposes of concealing the car's identification, and suspended registration. Have you received an offer from the state?
No, ma'am, I have not.
All right. Miss Githia? And Mr. Jackson, please write this down as you're listening. What's
Yes,
the
ma'am.
proposed offer for Mr. Jackson?
For count 1, it is 12 months probation and a theft prevention class. Count 2, 12 months to serve 2 days. Credit for time served 2 days. Balance probated. A $500 fine and license forfeiture. For count 3, 12 months to serve 2 days. Credit for time served, balance probated. And count 4 is 12 months probation. And that would be concurrent.
Okay.
So just to understand, a $500 fine, 12 months probation, and then I would have my license forfeited.
And a anti-theft class.
Okay. And my license would be forfeited for how long?
Your license will be suspended for 12 months.
Okay.
Well, I normally say 12 months, but I'm going to say license forfeiture per DDS. In some events, they suspend them for 6 months. So I don't know how many prior convictions you've had with regards to this particular offense. So
I'm
typically
not
it's for,
sure.
well, you'll have to check with the Department of Driver Services.
Okay. I know I just, okay.
So I'm just going to say license forfeiture per DDS, which is Department of Driver Services. I don't control the suspension of driver's licenses. I just say whether it's suspended or not. But the duration is up to the rules and regulations of the department.
Okay, so on June 6th, then I can make the option to just say I'm guilty and pay this fine and go ahead with probation.
You can make that option then, on June 7th, not June 6th.
Yeah, it's June 7th. I apologize.
You can make that decision then, or you can make that decision today.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
Can you reset me for June 7th?
Okay,
And that would be a virtual,
nope, it's in person.
that's in
In
person.
person only.
Okay.
So listen very carefully. Are you listening, Mr. Jackson?
Yeah, I'm listening. I was taking notes of what you were saying. I'm sorry.
Your case is reset to June 7th at 1:30 p.m.
And that's in person.
You have the next 30 days from today to decide whether you want to retain an attorney and actually hire one.
Okay.
After that, you are required, you and your attorney, or just you, to appear in court in person on June 7 at 1:30 p.m. in courtroom G33 at 160 Prior Street. At that time, you can decide how you would like to proceed. You presently have an offer to consider.
Could I just proceed with that offer today then?
That is entirely up to you, but please understand that if you do so, that you'll have to waive your right to counsel, and that if you choose to represent yourself, that you're responsible for your legal decisions, and how it may impact on other matters such as your license, your residency, if applicable, or any other open cases you may have.
Okay.
Are
Yeah,
are you waiving your right to counsel?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. If you'd like to consider this offer, then you'll need to put your email address directly to Ms. Githia, and she will send you the necessary documents for you to sign.
Okay. If I no longer live in the state of Georgia, does that affect probation at all?
Oh, of course it does, since we don't know that. Where do you live?
I live in the state of Michigan.
All right. I'll allow for telephonic reporting from the state of Michigan, but you'll need to do a qualified anti-theft class in the state of Michigan and pay your $500 fine within 90 days of being convicted.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so if you want to consider that, Ms. Githia, if you want to prepare the plea documents and submit them to Mr. Jackson for consideration. Mr. Jackson, please make sure that you remain on Zoom and you provide your correct email address in the Zoom and the Zoom chat directly to ASG Sarita Githia.
Announcement whenever the court is ready.
Yes, I am ready now.
Position 36, it's gonna be a roll call.
Okay. This is State versus Mr. Vila. All right. Your case is dismissed. You're free to go. Do you want to tell him that? Does he have any questions? All right.
Yes, right now.
All right, he can stay and wait for a confirmation dismissal. Anything else, Ms. Kasdakis?
Not right now, Judge, we're just waiting for the PD to accept my offers.
All right.
Judge, at a moment, I spoke to Mrs. Casadakis about, I have a case on the 1:30 calendar. And his name is Warren Solomon.
Is it the show cause? No.
The
Final page?
It's position 22, using custody in Lockdale.
Just figured, Judge, since I was already here and he is in custody in Rockdale County Jail, and if we could also get that reset to June 7th.
Misdemeanor or felony arrest?
I'm not sure, probably a misdemeanor.
Okay, all status conference calendars are further noticed. So do you want a June 7th final plea calendar? or-
Yes, because the 1:30 today was filed, please, so we can just go to
Okay.
June 7th.
So Warren Solomon is reset to final plea at June 7th at 1:30 PM. Hopefully he will be released and appear with you in person, okay?
Yes, I've communicated to the state that there was a good possibility of a plea, and I will convey the new date to his mother.
All right.
Thank you, Judge, that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Murphy. You have a great weekend. I don't want to see you at all until next week. No, thank you.
Stay in my case.
All right.
Judge, can I make a few announcements, please?
Yes, Ms. Rosenhuber, which one would you like to start with?
Beginning with position number 5, Miss Brooken, she is present in court. I spoke with Miss Githia, who advised that she will be null crossing that case.
All right. Ms. Brookins, the state is going to dismiss the charge. You are free to go. You can stay and get a copy confirmation from Ms. Kassidakis.
Next position is position 36. Ms. Kassidakis advised, and I think that she's working on a null pros order for that case as well, and he is present.
We've already announced that.
Oh, okay, great.
What about positions
I have a lot that I still need to talk to. Judge.
23 and 22
23 and
and
22.
and position 6?
I have not had an opportunity to call and qualify anybody yet, who's over Zoom. I'm trying to work through the people who are in the courtroom.
Is there a Thomas Carpenter in the courtroom? No?
He's
Okay.
over Zoom, Judge.
So everyone else is on Zoom?
Everyone else except for position 35, he was a public defender case. We think that a Spanish interpreter will be needed. If we could reset this case to your final plea calendar to give Ms. Helen an opportunity to speak with him. It's a DUI
Does his
case.
friend speak English?
Yes,
Hello, good morning, Your Honor.
Oh,
I'm sorry,
thank
I
you.
was able to make arrangements and be here today, so let's do it.
Okay.
I can speak with him, Judge.
Is heaven sent, so there we go.
Okay, then I'll just need to get with Ms. Kassidakis, get a recommendation on position 35, and I'll speak with him.
Ms. Chauncey, if you would please hold for a few more moments, we're going to
Yes,
place you in a breakout with Ms. Rosenhuber.
Perfect, thank you.
That she can speak with you and her client, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I have one more announcement, Judge.
Yes, sir.
Judge, on position number 32, that's going to be a plea, Samuel Scott. I just informed the prosecutor she's going to draft the DocuSign and send it to me, Judge.
Okay. So for Samuel Lee Scott, he's on Zoom, right?
No, he's actually in person. He went to the restroom, Judge.
Oh, okay. So this is going to be a plea?
Yes, Judge.
All right, we are going to take 32 as a plea as well. Anything else, sir?
Not right now. I'm going to catch up with Ms. Rosenhuber, see who else I need to talk to.
All right, I have position 6, 23, and 22. 6, 23, 22. 22 and 23. And I believe 35 qualifies. So those are 6, 22, and 23.
Okay. I'll see who she's spoken to and who's has not.
Those have not been addressed.
Oh, they've not? Okay.
And the plea paperwork has been sent to you on Mr. Hillman.
Yes, I'm going over it now. Your Honor, did the court say 22? I've already dealt with 22.
Oh, maybe I didn't cross it out then, sorry. Oh, yes, you did. So 6 and 23. And 20. I'm sorry, I didn't put 20. It was a late entry. So 6, 20, and 23. Okay.
Talking to him if he's in person. I've got all the people. Somewhere is
You tell me who I need
all
to-
these folks on Zoom. I forget what happened with it, but there's like 6, 22, and 23, 1 or 2 of them. Okay, so 6 and
I'll do 6.
I'll do 23. What, and 20.
Mr. Glanville, I had removed some individuals from Zoom because they were driving or something to that effect. Have they returned?
It's been various individuals at different junctures.
Yes.
All right. Anthony McClure, did you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Are you the one who was driving and waiting to get home?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Mr. McClure is present. And Mr. McClure, this is position 24. First of all, please make sure that your device is lowered so that we can see you, because we're not going to be looking at your ceiling. So lower your device so your face is on screen. All right. And Mr. McClure, you have a right to remain silent about the facts of the case. Anything you say in open court, your statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one would be appointed to represent you. Who represents you today for your case involving 1 count of battery family violence?
Nobody that I know of.
All right. Mr. McClure,
Yes, ma'am.
who is your attorney?
I don't have one.
All right. Would you like to speak to the public defender's office to see if you qualify?
Yes.
You would need to put your phone number and your name in the chat so that you can get on the list to speak with them this morning. Do not leave the Zoom until they have spoken to you. You may mute your screen. Thank you. Please mute your screen, sir. Ms. Scipia, do you have any announcements?
Oh, I'm doing the plea paperwork for Mr. Jackson.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Yes, ma'am, you said my name.
No, it was someone is getting your plea paperwork together to send to you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Also, could Ms. Bolton please email him a waiver of the right to counsel, please?
Unmuted. Mr. Cornelius Hillman, please unmute and place your video. Yeah, okay. Please unmute. We're going to send you another document regarding waiver of counsel. Are you represented by counsel or Mr. Hillman?
Lied.
Are
Yeah.
you representing
I was
yourself?
asking for Mr. Jackson, Your Honor. Mr. Hillman is represented by the PD's office.
Okay.
I was asking for Mr. Jackson. I'm sending his email address to you now, to Ms. Bolton now.
All right, yeah, send a waiver of counsel document. Yeah, Mr. Miles Jackson, you're gonna get a document from Brandy Bolton. Please read through it. Is regarding your informed consent to waive your right to counsel. And then please send that back as soon as possible. Okay?
Okay.
Was it Mr. Haddad who was representing Hillman?
Yes, he has the
Okay.
pre-paperwork.
I just need to get Mr. Haddad in the courtroom. He might be on the call. Ah, Mr. Haddad,
Yes, Judge.
you're very stealth. I'm telling you that. Okay. All right, sir. We're ready to address Cornelius Hillman.
Oh, yes.
All right. Mr. Hillman, please unmute your screen. All right, this is position 15 on the ORCA calendar today for May 3rd, 2024, 21 CR 001-399B. A state versus Cornelius with a K, Hillman, common spelling, accused of obstruction of a law enforcement officer and simple assault from March 22nd, 2021 in Fulton County, Georgia. Mr. Hillman, you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is Mr. Jawan Haddad, who is present in the courtroom while you are appearing virtually. You have reviewed the plea documents with your counsel, and we're going to proceed with the plea hearing. May I place you under oath? Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Ms. Gethier, if you'd like to articulate the plea offer for Mr. Hillman.
Yes, Your Honor. For the simple assault, the state's offer is 12 months to serve 2 days, credit for time served 2 days, balance probated, to have no further violent contact with Ashanti Hillman, to do 12 weeks of anger management as approved by probation. For the obstruction of law enforcement is 12 months probation and a $300 fine, and it will be concurrent. Does the defense stipulate to the facts, venue, and ID?
We stipulate for purposes of the plea, Judge.
Thank you.
Further.
Mr. Hillman, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol recently?
No, ma'am.
Have you understood the proceedings so far?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with your legal services?
Yes, ma'am.
And is anyone forcing you to enter into a plea today?
No, ma'am.
As you've reviewed the documents, if you choose to enter the guilty plea to these charges today, you would have to give up your constitutional right to a trial. You will not have the opportunity to come back to court with your attorney, to confront your accuser, challenge the evidence brought against you, to present any defenses and arguments, and also to waive your right to have the state prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you plead to one count of simple battery, family violence? Excuse me, simple assault and obstruction of a law enforcement officer?
Guilty.
On the simple assault, your sentence is 12 months to serve 2 days, credit for time served 2 days. You do not have any additional jail time to serve, but you will be on probation. You must report to probation in person on Monday, May 6th, I believe. Yes, it's May 6th before 3 p.m. The location of the probation office is 132 Mitchell Street in downtown Atlanta. You must report before 3 p.m. on Monday, whereby you'll be placed on probation to complete a 12-week anger management program. The 12th week of classes must begin within 60 days from today, and you must continue with those classes until they're completed and then present your certificate to your probation officer. You are not to have any violent contact with Ashanti Hillman, which means that you can have communication with her if she chooses to have it, but there cannot be verbal or physical altercations. On the obstruction charge, your sentence is 12 months probation concurrent to count 1, and you have an additional $300 fine to pay. You will begin with paying $50 in the first month of probation and a minimum of $50 thereafter for every month until the $300 fine is paid off. Every month that you report to probation, you will pay probation fees. If you complete paying your fine, if you complete your anger management classes, and your probation fees are up to date, then your probation will be non-reporting. But until then, it will be reporting probation. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right.
Your Honor, if I, since he's on, Mr. Hellman, I'm gonna email you, the address for probation, as well, so you'll have it in writing, okay?
As well as the date to report.
Yes, Judge, I'll put it on there.
All right, Mr. Hillman, that concludes your case. Don't forget to report to probation on Monday. Thank you.
All right, have a good one.
You too.
Thank you, Judge.
Mhm.
Your Honor, I have one announcement whenever the court's ready.
Ready?
Your Honor, position number 6, Thomas Carpenter, he does not qualify for the services of the public defender's office. I've requested that he's on, so. And I
All right,
told him-
Mr. Thomas Carpenter,
Yes, Your Honor.
you do not qualify for the services of the public defender's office. So you will need to either retain counsel or you can waive your right to counsel and speak directly with the prosecution. What would you like to do?
How long would I have to try to get counsel?
Next 30 days.
Okay. I would like to try to get counsel.
All right, your case is reset to June 7th at 1:30 p.m. And this is an in-person only, no more Zoom.
Okay.
You and your attorney must appear to address this case in person at 1:30 p.m. on June 7th.
And it's the same on Prior Street, right? The same address?
160 Prior Street, courtroom G33. And please understand that I've already given you a heads up that you have the next 30 days to hire an attorney. I'm not going to take any excuses if you hire an attorney at the last minute when you show up in court.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. You're free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Any other announcements, Mr. Haddad?
No, Judge, I am, not yet, Judge.
All right.
Moving on to the next person.
All right. I only have 20, 23, and 24. I don't know if Ms. Rosenhu was speaking to any of them.
I'm about to call position number. Hold on a second, Judge. think I was about to call 23, Judge. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Hello?
Who's speaking, please?
Oh, my apologies. My name is Katisha Wilson.
Katisha Wilson.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, position 42. All right, Miss Wilson, I'm glad you showed up. All right, your attorney is this morning, Miss Sarah Rosen. Oh, my Lord. She's naked.
No, I'm not naked.
Yes, you are. We don't allow that kind of outfit in a courtroom.
My apologies. I'm going to put on
Go
a
change, go change. Stop your video and go change. Well, Miss Rosenhuber, when she comes back. Miss Glenn. Miss Glanville, you can mute Cecilia Wilson until she appears. Thank you.
judge.
All right, Miss Wilson, are you appropriately dressed?
Yes, ma'am. I'm
Put on
ready.
your video.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Court began at 9 o'clock in the morning. Your attorney at the present time is going to be Miss Sarah Rosenhuber. As soon as she comes back into the courtroom, she will report as to how they want to proceed with your case.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Now you can mute your screen until your case is called again.
Yes, ma'am.
42. That's your list of cases, right, Ms. Kassidakis? 42?
Yes.
Yeah.
Jackson, I'm actually going to be dismissing two of the counts. Do I need to resend it to him, or can we just make that announcement when I state?
I'm sorry, with regards to which case?
Miles Jackson.
We can address that when we have the plea hearing. We're still
Oh.
waiting on the plea documents.
Okay.
Thank you.
I had a question. One of the dates on that document was incorrect. It said 2023. Is that okay?
He's talking on the plea and verdict form, Your Honor. I was gonna ask you if you could change that date.
I'll
to
change
yeah.
I'll make the correction.
And we're gonna speak with IT and see if they can get that fixed in DocuSign.
All right, will do.
Yes,
Okay. If y'all see any corrections to be done, y'all can definitely correct it and just initial next to the correction. That's fine too. Okay. Okay, we're ready to take a plea on Samuel Lee Scott. Mr. Scott, if you'd like to come and sit on the bench. One of the benches right there. And Mr. Haddad, what was your announcement?
That's gonna be plea.
No, I meant your other
Oh, I'm
announcement.
sorry, yes. On position number 23, Tanetta Luster, who should still be on Zoom, Judge. She does qualify for the Service Public Defender's Office. I would request if we can reset it for another status or final plea. It doesn't matter,
Okay.
just to give me time to review the discovery and.
Miss Tonetta Luster.
She's on. She should be on here.
Tonetta Luster.
She's on, Judge.
All right. Miss Luster, you are represented now by the Public Defender's Office, Mr. Jawan Haddad. Your next court date is going to be June 7th at 1:30 p.m. and you would need to appear in person. No more Zoom.
All right, thank you.
All right. Please make a note that if you don't show up on time, it doesn't look good.
All right.
All right. Take care. You're free to go.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Any announcements from Ms. Rosenhuber?
She's on the phone right now.
Okay, all right. Let's proceed with the State versus Samuel Lee Scott. We're going to waive sounding of one of the charges. And all right, Mr. Samuel Lee Scott, your case number is 21 CR 005-463B. You've been accused of two misdemeanor offenses from October 11th, 2021. You've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your counsel is Mr. Haddad. Presently, under this accusation, you have been charged with two misdemeanors, including the simple battery family violence. Are you familiar with the second count?
Yes.
Okay. This is going to be a negotiated plea hearing, so may I place you under oath? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
All right. Oh, let me see. It's an FVIP, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And no further contact with CW and Monique Hunt?
No violent.
No violent contact, excuse me. All right. Ms. Kasadakis, without mentioning count one, what is the plea offer?
Yes, Judge. Does the defense stipulate to a factual basis, venue, and ID?
We do for purposes of the plea, Judge.
Thank you.
Judge. The state's recommendation for count one is 12 months probation and a $300 fine. And for count 2, simple battery family violence, it's gonna be 12 months probation, running concurrent with count 1. Credit, serve 3 days, credit for time served 3 days, balance probated, the FVIP course, and no violent contact with Monique Hunt. They have kids together, so it has to be peaceful, no violent contact. And also, Judge, my victim is present and would like to address the court.
All right. Ms. Monique Hunt,
Just right.
you may stand at the prosecutor's table. If that's all right with you? As long as she's near the microphone, that's all right. Ma'am, may I place you under oath? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
All right. What would you like to tell us?
I just wanted to read from my impact statement, just so you can understand.
Certainly.
Okay. Just had it. Okay. I just want to say, first of all, I'm a mom to 5 girls. So I try to be an example for them. And this incident that happened was very traumatizing. I mean, I want him to know that as well, because I don't talk to him at all, any form of contact. So basically, the incident that happened to me at the hands of Mr. Scott was not only embarrassing, but mentally traumatizing. I've suffered physical, mental, verbal, and emotional abuse in the years of knowing/being with the defendant. I suffer from anxiety and emotional trauma. That day made me feel like I had no control over my body, which wasn't the first time I felt that way with him. He came to my residence and violated me. I began taking therapy for a while until I couldn't afford it anymore, but it has helped a little in me becoming more vocal about how I feel. I thought back then, when it happened, that dropping the charges, I'm sorry, I just scrolled up. I thought back then that dropping the charges would make Mr. Scott focus on our children that we had, but he hasn't. Throughout the years, he still stalked and harassed me, forcing me to take out multiple TPOs against him. I blocked him on every platform, including phones and social media. And then he would stalk me, showing up to where I was, sending me pictures of my car, placing items like his hat on my car, and constantly email and harass me, never once pertaining to the kids. I do not feel safe being around him. And as I've stated, it's unfortunate because we do have 2 beautiful daughters whom he has not shown to care about. I don't know what a sentence should be in this case, but I do know that a man like Mr. Scott needs to have some type of punishment to understand the severity of his actions and to not do them again. I would have been against jail time if Mr. Scott was doing anything to support his kids, but he does nothing. He is only obligated to pay $235 a month in child support, which he is over $6,000 in arrears because he claimed he isn't working, and he can't even do that consistently. I mentioned to the previous judge during our custody visitation case that he has a problem with authority and has to dictate everything or it's no way. And she stated that that is why they are here and that he will have to follow everything that is written as far as visitation. Well, immediately after that court, he left court and he tried to withdraw our 2 kids from daycare without contacting me, but then lied and told the daycare that he was the enrolling parent, which he isn't, and that the police said that he can come and get them, which was all lies, not knowing that he was banned from the daycare because of his behavior and trying to threaten and harass them as well. He claimed he doesn't work, and this was written in December, but he hadn't seen them in over a year until the court order was put in place. I've told him numerous of times over the years, he would have to take me to court because I didn't want any type of communication with him due to his behavior. It wasn't until I put him on child support that a month later he went and filed for legitimation. So I say all this to say that he needs some type of punishment or he will never learn. I just hope that the judge considers the mental/emotional damage that he has caused me and takes that into consideration when issuing his sentence. Whether it be jail time or probation, I'm in favor with either one. I do apologize for it being so long, but I try to make it as short as possible. But I do want him and everyone listening to understand the trauma that it has put on me. And like I said, me having to raise 5 daughters, I would never want them to have to go through what I went through with them.
Ma'am, I think you are very concise and very articulate. Thank you. I
Thank
just
you.
had a couple of questions. He's already filed a legitimation
He
action?
did, yeah. I wrote this in December when we were originally supposed to have a court date January. So I wrote this before that court date, but since in between that, we were given a court order for visitation for him. Yeah.
And has the Superior Court issued a legitimation order allowing for joint visitation and joint custody?
Yes.
Has it also authorized child support?
The child support was done before the legitimation.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a child support order as
And
well
as
as
the,
the
yeah,
legitimation order?
legitimation order.
Okay. And does the legitimation order require you to communicate with the defendant with regards to when pickup and drop off is required?
I don't think so. We communicate via a parenting app. I don't want, I told
Only
you that I
through a
didn't want
parenting
any,
app?
yes,
Okay.
yeah.
You understand the recommendation here is that he have no violent contact with you,
Yes.
Monique Hunt. If you still want to communicate through the parenting app, you're not required to have any communication
I don't
with
want to
him.
communicate with him at all.
I'm amending that to.
I mean, but of course.
I'm
it was
amending
still
that
with
to
the kid, yeah.
no contact with Monique Hunt. Now, with regards to
But it's still with the
CW,
kids, yeah.
with regards to CW, that's one of the daughters?
I'm sorry,
CW, one of the minors?
CW?
Miss Cat, who drafted this?
It's, Judge, it's, no violent contact with Monique Hunt. I didn't have space on there.
Oh, okay. So
Sorry.
CW is just an acronym for something else?
Yes, it's, no violent contact with is the
Okay,
W.
sorry, I'm trying to understand the prosecutor's handwriting.
Sorry.
So it's no contact with
No
Monique
violent
Hunt,
contact, right.
okay?
Oh, yeah, no, oh, okay, okay.
No contact Monique Hunt, with the exception,
It's right.
please understand, it's no contact with you,
Mhm.
with the exception of third-party transfer. In other words, any visitation or custody authorized by the Superior Court can only be done through a third party, which would be your parenting app or a neutral third person
Okay,
who, like
yeah,
a mutual friend that y'all know, a mutual relative that y'all know,
okay.
can assist with third party and transfer.
Mhm.
Does your client understand those terms?
I've discussed with him that possibility
At all.
and he's,
Except the
as long
third
as
party
the
would be
app
parent
does not, and it sounds like from what the court said, that would work, Judge, that's fine, Judge.
Why would the app not work?
No, meaning, and the court was specific that the app would, as long as they communicate through that third party app, it's not a violation. That's what I was trying to get.
Well, the communication of third party app is only with regards to visitation custody, is nothing for any conversations over and above that.
Agreed.
Okay. And the other condition is no weapons and no firearms.
That'd be fine.
The last question I have, Ms. Hunt, and one of the reasons I'm very grateful for your very thorough and concise statement is the daycare or the schools have Mr. Scott listed as an authorized pickup?
No, he
Okay,
was banned from the daycare because he would call and harass them the same way he does me. So he's not allowed to go to the daycare.
all right. And so there are two daughters with whom you share, right?
Yes,
Are they both at daycare or?
yes. They both, they go to daycare, the daycare drops them to school. They're all in school. So the
Okay,
daycare drops them to school, picks them up, take them back to the daycare.
is he authorized to pick them up from school?
He's not listed on anything. I've never
No.
listed him on anything.
So I'm only going to say that the third party transferred, Mr. Scott, you're going to have to stay away from the children's daycare facility and their schools. You understand, sir?
Yes.
And of course, this is only in effect while he's on probation, whether it's active probation or non-reporting probation. I haven't decided which one yet. But so he's going to be on probation for 12 months. He needs to do a domestic violence intervention program. He is to have no contact with you. He is to comply with the custody and visitation order he's received. He's not allowed to own any weapons and any firearms. He can't have anywhere near him. And he needs to stay away from the daycare facility and schools.
And the fine, Judge.
Oh, and the fine, $300.
And also,
But,
I'm sorry.
go ahead.
I was gonna say the victim told me that the defendant lives out of state, so as far as reporting to probation.
I didn't know that.
Judge,
Stood up?
I'd explained to him that he'll have to report in person. He is right now here. His mom lives in Alabama, Judge. Like what he reported to me that he's currently residing here, Judge. So I told him the report, May 6th, is obviously in person. He has to report to probation. And as long as he has reporting probation, have to do the classes and pay the fine and all that.
What is his current address?
I'll say yes.
Ms. Hunt, and one more thing's gonna be added. And Ms. Hunt, the children that you share with Mr. Scott, are they permitted to travel outside of Atlanta, or outside the state?
You asking me?
Yes.
I would prefer they not travel out of the state. And I was under the impression that I didn't know where he lived. Cause he told me that he didn't live in the state of Georgia.
Okay.
So I would prefer them not to leave the state.
No, UT. HA. 0.48. 08. 08. At Gmail.
Thank you.
Do we have his current mailing address?
I do, Judge, I have to fill it out. For probation. You'd like me to put on the record?
Yes, please.
The address provided is 2295 Burdette. That's B as in boy, URDEETT Ridge Drive. The zip is, that's in Atlanta, 30349.
30309?
30349.
30349. Okay. Mr. Scott, for the time that you're on probation, any visitation in custody will require you to maintain the geographic scope to within the Metro Atlanta area and not beyond that. So you cannot take the girls outside the Metro Atlanta area, and you definitely cannot take them to Alabama or anywhere else for the duration of probation.
Yes.
Yes. If you can get in touch with Mr. Kimani King and send him a copy of that, that would be great.
I think there's only one more. Or no.
All right, let us proceed. Thank you, Ms. Hunt. You may have a seat.
I don't know.
As I was saying, Mr. Haddad, you've already stipulated. Mr. Scott, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol recently?
No, ma'am.
And have you understood the proceedings so far?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you understood the statement that was made by the victim in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you take that to heart?
I do.
All right. Are you satisfied with your legal services?
Yes, ma'am.
And is anyone forcing you to enter a plea today?
No, ma'am.
If you decide to enter into this plea, you would have to give up your constitutional right to a trial. You will not be given a chance to go back to court to confront your accusers, to be able to challenge the evidence brought against you, to be able to present any defenses, arguments, or mitigating factors, and also to waive your right to have the prosecution carry its burden and prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to waive these rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you entering your plea freely, willingly, and knowingly?
I am.
How do you plead to count 1 involving a battery of a sensitive nature?
Guilty.
How do you plead to count 2, simple battery family violence?
Guilty.
On the count 1, your sentence is 12 months probation, which you will begin on Monday before 3 p.m. You must report to Fulton County Probation Office at 132 Mitchell Street before 3 p.m. While you're on probation for count 1, you will pay a $300 fine plus your necessary court charges and probation fees. You will begin paying a minimum of $50 the first month, and you will pay a minimum of $50 per month thereafter. All right? On count 2, simple battery family violence, your sentence is 12 months probation concurrent to count 1, with credit for 3 days that you're given for time at jail. While you're on probation, you will enroll and complete a domestic violence intervention program. You will enroll in this program within 30 days from today. You must show proof of enrollment to your probation officer by your second probation visit. There shall be no contact with Monique Hunt. You're to stay 200 yards away from her, no matter where she's located. You're not to communicate with her in person, through mail, email, third party, with the exception of the third party transfer. You're not to communicate with her through a phone, a computer device, or even on social media. If you engage in any form of communication, she simply has to report that matter to victim advocate, and the prosecution can request a probation revocation. You're allowed third-party transfer of the 2 children that you share with Ms. Hunt. That third-party transfer must be strictly in compliance with the legitimation order that you've received. Please keep in mind that pursuant to your probation, you're not to remove the children from Metro Atlanta and definitely not beyond Metro Atlanta, including other states. You're not to be in possession and not own any firearms. You're not to have any firearms on your person, in your home, in any vehicle you own, or anywhere near you. And you're to stay away from all daycare facilities and schools that are currently attended by the 2 children that you share with Ms. Hunt. Do you have any questions about these requirements?
No, ma'am.
All right. You will be on active probation every month. And even if you completed the terms, you're still to continue to report to probation. That concludes your sentence. Thank you.
Judge Law?
Yes.
Can the victim get a copy of the order? Is that possible?
If she wants to remain in court, as soon as we have them filed, she can have a copy of the disposition.
Hang tight. Okay. Thank you, Judge.
And Judge, I have several announcements whenever the court is ready.
All right. Mr. Haddad, are we concluded with Mr. Scott?
We are, Judge.
All right. Please hold, Ms. Rosenhuber. I just have one more plea to take, and then I will address you. Okay. This is, do we have the document for the waiver of counsel? All right, thank you. No, just an empty one is fine. Thank you. All right. This is State versus Miles Jackson. Will Mr. Jackson please unmute and start his video? All right. This is State versus Miles Jackson, 20 CR. Mr. Jackson?
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right.
I'm here. I'm sorry.
Okay. This is State versus Miles Jackson, 20 CR 1374G, in which Mr. Jackson is accused of theft by receiving stolen property, driving while license suspended or revoked, acquiring a license plate for purposes of concealment, and suspended registration. Ms. Githia, which charges are being null pros?
I'm sorry, count 3 and 4.
Count 3 and 4, and that would be
the acquiring license plate and the suspended registration.
All right. Okay. Mr. Jackson, you've been advised of your right to remain silent and your right to counsel. And based on your representations, well, let me go ahead and place you under oath first. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the test, raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear and affirm that the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. At the beginning of this calendar, you were advised that you have a right to retain counsel. And what would be the ramifications of not retaining counsel? You've indicated that you're waiving your right to counsel. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand that you have also waived your right to, well, you don't qualify for the services of the Public Defender's Office. You understand that if you choose to represent yourself, that you have to be familiar with the rules of evidence, the trial strategies, criminal procedures, and how the law impacts upon the facts of your case. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
And that you are responsible for any legal decision that you make?
Yes, ma'am.
Given this information, do you knowingly and voluntarily waive your right to counsel?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you authorize the court to sign this acknowledgement on the document for waiver of counsel?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, with that, Mr. Jackson, it appears that you would be pleading to 2 counts, which would be theft by receiving stolen property and driving while license suspended or revoked. Is that your understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Ms. Was it Ms. Gutierrez, please articulate the terms of the offer.
Did you want me to read the factual basis, Your Honor?
Is this, no, this is a negotiated plea. Would that be correct?
It is. I just didn't know because he's pro se if I needed to read the factual basis.
Mr. Jackson, do you want the prosecutor to read the factual basis of this plea, or would you like to waive it?
I don't even know what that is.
The factual basis, that means the facts in the case upon which the prosecution is seeking a conviction. So if you want the prosecution to summarize the facts, they'll be glad to read it out. Or if you're familiar with the facts, then you can waive a reading, or you can choose to have it announced in open court. What would you like to do?
It's fine. You can waive it.
Okay, you may proceed, Ms. Gutierrez.
For count 1, theft by receiving stolen property is 12 months probation in a theft prevention class. For count 2, driving while license suspended or revoked, it is 12 months to serve 2 days, credit for time served 2 days, balance probated, to pay a $500 fine and license forfeiture.
In accordance with DDS, correct?
Correct. And nothing further, Your Honor.
All right. And defendant resides in the state of Michigan, right?
That's correct.
All right. So I'm going to allow for telephonic probation. Okay. Mr. Jackson, do you agree with the factual basis upon which the case is proceeding? The fact that you are the perpetrator in this particular case, and that the case is properly addressed in Fulton County, Georgia?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Have you consumed any medicine or alcohol recently?
No, ma'am.
And have you understood the proceedings so far?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you entering this plea freely, willingly, and knowingly?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you being coerced or induced to accept any offers in order to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
If you decide to plead guilty to these 2 charges, you would have to give up your constitutional right to a trial in front of a judge or a jury. You will not have the opportunity to come back to court to confront your accuser, challenge the evidence brought against you, and have the state carry its burden to prove the original charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you plead to one count of theft by receiving stolen property?
Guilty.
How do you plead to one count of driving while license suspended or revoked?
Guilty.
On count one, you will report to probation telephonically. We will send you a probation form where you need to fill out your correct address, email, and phone number so that we can convey that to probation. You have to report to probation by telephone next Tuesday, May 7th, before 3 p.m.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Please make sure you give your correct case number so that they will know that you're authorized to report by telephone. With regards to count one, you are to complete an anti-theft prevention class. And if that class is being offered online in the state of Georgia, you should consult with your probation officer to see if you'd like to do it that way. Otherwise, if you decide to take the class in the state of Michigan, you have to provide the details to your probation officer before you take the class to make sure that your probation officer deems that to be a qualified class.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. On count two, driving while license suspended, your sentence is 12 months to serve 2 days, credit for time served 2 days. Again, telephonic probation. You're required to pay a $500 fine. You'll be required to pay $50 in the first, a minimum of $50 in the first month, and then $50 every month thereafter until the entire $500 fine is paid off. Your license will be forfeited by the Georgia State Department of Driver Services, and this forfeiture has a reciprocal effect in the state of Michigan. So please understand that if your license is suspended in Georgia, the suspension will be reported to the Department of Driver Services in Michigan, which will sua sponte or automatically suspend your driver's license there. All right. So please be mindful that you're not allowed to drive for the next few months in accordance with whatever suspension the department provides. Do you have any questions, sir?
No, ma'am.
All right.
If I may quickly just add one thing.
Yes,
This is
sir.
going to be
Yes, sir.
concurrent. Just want to make sure to
Yes.
clarify that this is concurrent.
Count one and count twos are concurrent.
Yes.
After Mr. Jackson has completed his theft prevention class and paid off the $500 fine, his probation will be non-reporting. So, Mr. Jackson, the sooner you're done with the class and the sooner you're done with your paying off your fine, and if you're updated with your probation fees and so forth, then you can cease reporting to probation, although you're technically on probation.
Okay. And you said next Tuesday by 3 p.m.?
Next Tuesday, May 7th by 3 p.m.
Okay.
Any questions, Mr. Jackson?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Ms. Rosenhuber?
Yes, Judge. Beginning with position number 14, Mr. Clarence Green, he is here in person. I have conveyed the offer and he wishes to have a jury trial.
Okay. Mr. Clarence Green? Where is he?
He is right behind me.
Oh, right there. Okay. We are going to issue a case management order. The case is reset to July 19th. Mr. Green, you'll have to come to court in person, July 9th, not 19th, July 9th at 9 a.m. And please remember your attorney is Ms. Catrice Helen with the Public Defender's Office. Thank you. You're free to go. Next case.
My next case is position 25, Miss Brandy McQueen. She is on Zoom. I'm requesting a final plea calendar for her and Miss Helen to continue to discuss this case.
Does she have the plea offer to consider?
She does.
Okay. Ms. Brandy McQueen, your public defense attorney is Ms. Catrice Helen. Your case is reset to June 7th at 1:30 p.m. And you need to come to court in person only, no more Zoom. And at that time, you and your attorney can discuss the possibility of a plea or a trial. All right, you're free to go. Next case.
28, Judge Tiffany Perry. She has also been on Zoom all morning. Same announcement, Judge. I conveyed the recommendation. Ms. Perry lives out of state.
Just 1 second. Tiffany Perry, you need to start your video and unmute. Tiffany Perry.
I see her on.
Let's move on to the next one until she responds.
Okay, position number 42, Ms. Katisha Wilson. I was able to get in touch with her. Oh, Ms. Perry is on Zoom, Judge.
All right. What's the announcement for, you were saying Katisha Wilson, position 42. What's the announcement?
I'm requesting a final plea conference. Ms. Perry unmuted and put her video on, position 20. Okay, she's muted now.
Yeah,
Judge.
tell me about Katisha Wilson.
I'm requesting a final plea conference, Judge. Ms. Helen just got the video discovery on April 24th. Apologies. I'm just going off her notes. So April 19th. And Ms. Helen is requesting an opportunity to be able to review that with Ms. Wilson.
All right. Ms. Katisha Wilson, your case is reset to
Yes, ma'am.
June 7th at 1:30 p.m. And this is in person only. Please be sure to be in court to discuss your case with your attorney.
June 7th at 1:30 p.m.
June 7th, 1:30 p.m. in courtroom G33.
G33. Got it. Thank you so
All right.
much.
You're free to go. Thank you.
All right, yes, sir.
All right. Tiffany Perry is now on Zoom. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. How you doing, Judge?
Fine, thank you.
I'm requesting a final plea conference for her as well, Judge.
Okay. Ms. Perry, your case is also reset to June 7th at 1:30 p.m. And this is in person. Oh, you said she's out of state?
Yes.
Where
Yes,
do you
ma'am.
live?
Tennessee, I
I
believe.
live in Jackson, Mississippi.
Mississippi, never mind.
In Mississippi. Okay. If you decide to, you would need to speak with your attorney long before June 7th. If you decide to accept a plea, you would need to make sure that all the documents are signed and sent to the court before June 7th. I will allow you to appear via Zoom.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes.
All right, you're free to go.
Thank you, Judge.
Any other notes?
Yes, I also have position number 43, Mr. Jason Wright. Yes, Judge, he is present over Zoom. He advised me that he did not receive notice by mail. I advised that he needs to check in with the clerk's office and make sure the address is on.
Which one is he?
Jason Wright, it was in the red shirt, Judge.
All right.
Label
Mr. Wright, please unmute.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so you've spoken with him though?
I'm requesting a final plea calendar for his case. And he did just want to let the court know that he didn't receive notice by mail.
Okay. Let me make sure. This is position 43.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright, the current address we have on file for your case is at Woodlawn Avenue, Apartment 6 in West Virginia.
Yes, ma'am.
All
But I
right.
didn't see any notification, Your Honor.
And I did not receive a return to sender. So this is definitely a he said, she said case. So I'm just glad you appeared. Your case is reset to June 7th,
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, Your Honor.
2024 at 1:30 p.m. Now, just 1 second. I just need to look at one thing else in this case.
May I ask you a question, Your Honor?
Hang on.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, he didn't change his notice on September of 2020, didn't change his address in September of 2023. And then he gave us another address, Saco Lane in West Virginia in January of 2024. So is this your new address?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And I
that's
don't
been-
have a return to sender. So as far as we are concerned, the address went to wherever you provided us the address.
I had no idea I was supposed to be here, Your Honor. I've never missed a court date. I promise you, if I knew, I would have been here. I didn't see anything. I didn't get an email that I saw, and I got woken up to a phone call.
Actually, you did miss a court date in April 20th.
I had no idea I missed a court date either. I mean, I don't even
Okay.
know these things. I'm finding these things out now, and I can tell you,
Okay, no problem, no
yes,
problem.
it's been a hard time, Your Honor.
Your attorney is Catrice Helen with the Public Defender's Office. Your case is reset to June 7th at 1:30 p.m. You will need to come down to Georgia and address this case in person. So
I don't have a vehicle, ma'am, and I walk to work, and I don't have any family that lives around me. I have no money to support myself for that kind of travel. I live paycheck to paycheck, and I'm just trying to get back up on my feet. There's no way I can get down there. I don't have family that can bring me down there.
if your case goes to trial, you eventually need to come down here for trial.
I haven't even had, the one thing that I'm still confused on is the last public defender that I got in contact with. I left her messages, and she even said, we need to go over your case and stuff. I never even had a chance to get back with her. And then I got notified that I have a new
So
public defender.
I'm telling you right now, your attorney is Catrice Helen. The
All
lady
right.
who spoke with you this morning is covering for Miss Helen because she's unavailable today.
Okay.
But I'm just letting you know, this is an open, active criminal case against you. Eventually, you'll need to come down to Georgia to address this case. I'm giving you an opportunity to come down either on June 7th to see if you want to consider a plea or consider a resolution, or if you want to ask for a trial, then the case will be reset to July 9th. So it's June 7th or July 9th. You have to come down in person on one of these dates. There's no Zoom option for these dates.
What if I can't afford to make it down there, Your Honor? I don't have that money.
Then a warrant will be issued for your arrest for failure to appear.
Understood.
So would you like an opportunity to come down on June 7th?
If that's the only option the court's going to give me.
Or if you want a trial, you can come down on July 9th.
I even have had time to consult with my public defender on even how to approach this case yet, Your Honor. I'm walking in blind here.
Okay, this is what you're going to do. Miss Rosenhuber, does he have the contact information for Miss Helen?
I believe so, Judge.
Okay, so Mr. Wright, this is your homework. Right now, your case is set for June 7th at 1:30 p.m. in courtroom G33, where you're required to appear in person. Between now and June 7th, you need to make a diligent effort to contact and speak with your attorney, Catrice Helen, Hellen. I understand that Ms. Rosenhuber has given you all the contact information. Would that be correct?
The one that I'm talking to now is the contact information I have currently. So that's what I'm going to be contacting.
I'm happy to send it to him. I have a note from Miss Helen that she spoke with Mr. Wright, so it was my understanding they had each other's. But Mr. Wright, I'm happy to text you Catrice's number right now so that you'll have it, okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. So you're going to get the information via text from Public Defense Counsel, Ms. Rosenhuber. Please make sure you save that contact, write it down somewhere, put it on your fridge. I don't care how you save your information. But between now and June 7th, you're going to have a substantive discussion with your defense counsel, at which point then you make a decision as to whether you want to come back down on June 7th or whether you want a trial.
Okay.
If you decide to have a trial, your attorney will ask for a reset to July 9th. But it's either going to be June 7th or July 9th. You have to make arrangements, save your money, start making some friends, get a Greyhound bus ticket. I don't care what you do. But you need to come down here on one of those dates.
All right. I understand, Your Honor. Thank you for what you're.
All right, so speak with your attorney and she'll let us know when we will see you.
Ma'am.
All right, any other questions?
Just get in contact with my public defender and get with you by June 7th. Be there in person. That's
She needs to let us know before June 7th if you're coming down on June 7th or whether you're coming down for trial on July 9th. These are your two dates. Put a big red circle on your calendar. Those are the two dates you're going to have to choose which one you want to come down. I'm only going to require you to come down once, but you decide which date based on your conversations with your attorney.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, see you then, whichever date.
Thank you for your time, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Rosenhuber, any more announcements?
Yes, Judge. Position number 20, Mr. Malik Johnson. He indicated he wanted to apply for our services. He does not qualify. I advised him that he could request another court date in order to hire an attorney or decide to represent himself.
All right. Do you have any other announcements after that?
I think Mr. Haddad has a few.
All right, I'll get back to Mr. Johnson. Yes, Mr. Haddad?
Your Honor, position number 24, Anthony McClure, he does qualify. I'm gonna ask to reset it for the June 7th, with the court's permission, Judge, and
All
he's
right.
on Zoom.
Mr. Anthony McClure. Anthony McClure.
Yeah, ma'am.
Mr. McClure, you'll have to come back to court on June 7th at 1:30 p.m. in person. No more Zoom.
Thank you, Judge.
And your attorney is Mr. Jawan Haddad. Do you have any questions, sir?
No, ma'am.
All right, see you in person on June 7th at 1:30 p.m. Thank you.
Your Honor,
Any other announcements?
yes,
Mr.
Judge, on
Haddad?
position number 35, who's actually present in the courtroom. If we can reset it for June 7th, I believe there's a Spanish interpreter on Zoom, but my client speaks enough. We were able to communicate just in terms of, I need to review the video and whatnot, but there's a good chance.
Oh, just 1 second, please.
All right.
All right. Ms. Chauncey, do you
Yes.
solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you translate will be the true and accurate translation with no changes and embellishments?
I do, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Haddad, I'm so sorry. Let's start again.
No worries.
State versus Torres Hernandez. Please stand up. Okay.
He is present in the courtroom, Judge. I'm gonna request a reset for June 7th.
2024 at 1:30 p.m.
Yes, Judge, and
Oh, what pause? Ms. Chauncey?
Estamos aquí, mi cliente está presente, pero quiero pedir que se le dé una nueva cita el 7 de junio del 2024 a la 1:30 de la tarde.
You will need to do what?
And we need a Spanish interpreter at that time, Judge, in the event it's gonna be a plea.
Necesitamos un intérprete en caso que él decida tomar una declaración.
And you need to review what?
And I also needed to review the discovery, including any outstanding videos, Judge. So I'll be ready on the 7th to make a formal announcement of a plea, hopefully.
Your Honor, if I may, I can put it on my schedule. I am on call on the 7th.
Okay.
I believe. Let me, please, one moment.
Okay.
Thank you. That will be June 7th. Yes, well, it's on a Friday. I can put it on my schedule anyway.
Okay.
If you send me the link, I'll be here.
All right, Mr. Glanville, please make a note to send Ms. Chauncey a link for this Zoom. Ms. Chauncey, could you please interpret that
Yes, ma'am.
that council needs to review discovery?
Señor, el abogado necesita repasar con usted la pliega de pruebas en su caso, entonces se le va a dar tiempo para que él haga esto con usted y tendrá una nueva cita el 7 de junio a la 1:30 de la tarde, en donde yo pondré también esto en mi horario para volver y asistirlo.
We will see him in person on June 7th at 1:30 p.m.
Lo veremos de nuevo en persona el 7 de junio a la 1:30 de la tarde.
Does he have any questions?
¿Quiere hacer alguna pregunta, señor?
All right, he's free to go.
Ok, puede retirarse.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Chauncey. Appreciate you coming and rescuing us.
You're very
Thank you.
welcome. Have a good day, everyone.
You too. All right, and any other announcements, Mr. Haddad?
No, Judge, that's all the announcements I have.
All right. Mr. Malik Johnson, position 20.
Yes, ma'am.
Please unmute. All right. Mr. Johnson, you do not qualify for the services of the Public Defender's Office. Would you like a chance to speak with the prosecutor, or would you like a reset for you to retain counsel and come back to court with your attorney?
Is it possible if I could speak with her and make my mind up after?
If you want to, it's entirely up to you what you all decide. I don't know whether the state's offer will remain in place, but that's something that you can discuss with her. Is it you, Ms. Kassadakis, or Ms. Skithia?
That is mine, Your Honor. I can give him the offer.
I'm going to put you in a breakout session, Ms.
Okay.
Skithia. All right.
Okay.
Mr. Johnson, you will see a message on your screen to join a breakout.
Your Honor, do I need to be in that breakout as well as
No,
those?
you do
Okay.
not. You
Okay.
do not. Thank you.
Okay,
And Ms.
thank you,
Skithia,
Your
you
Honor.
will return to the same breakout room you were in before. All right, while Ms. Skithia is in
Excuse me, Your Honor?
session, I've got an August.
Yes,
Caller.
I'm sorry. I apologize. Oh, sorry, my video just went back off and on. I'm so sorry. I apologize. I am concerned I may have missed previous instructions for a different case. I was called in as a victim advocate for a defendant who appears to have not shown up.
This is for,
This would be for Lovell Paget. I apologize for interrupting, but I was concerned I may have missed further instruction.
Paget has not appeared, so I'm going to do my calendar call and see how we proceed.
All right, should I wait and continue
Yeah,
to
just wait.
stay?
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Okay. Thank
So
you.
as I was saying, as Ms. Skithia is in session, Ms. McLeod, any update from your client? All right. We will do a calendar call to see what's the status of the cases. Position
Your
number, yeah. Any update from your client?
I have not been able to get a hold of my client, unfortunately, Your Honor.
Okay, this is Jimmy Gilmore, position
Yes, Your
11
Honor.
and 12. Let me just check his calendar. Well, I do not have a return to sender, and I have a current address at Perimeter Center, apartment 1358. So I'm going to wait on Ms. Githia to see what she's probably going to ask for a bench warrant, but if you'd like to hold, as soon as she comes out of session, y'all can make your arguments, okay?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. And your positions number begin from 22? Ms. Kassadakis? Onwards, right? Okay. So let's do a calendar call for positions 23 onwards. We're going to begin with Tonetta Luster. That's reset to June 7 at 1:30 in person. 24, Anthony McClure is reset to June 7 at 1:30 p.m. 25 is reset to June 7 at 1:30 p.m. 26, Rita Mitchell. Rita Mitchell. Oh, Miss Fagan? Desiree Fagan?
Yes, ma'am.
Your case is dismissed. You're free to go. Please tell Mr. King, and I'm going to cancel your next court date.
Okay, yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Rita Mitchell. You probably have to do it a little louder, but bench warrant is granted. And this is going to be $500 on each count for a total of a $2,000 bond. Lavelle Paget.
State requests a bench warrant.
Right? This bench warrant is granted for failure to appear, and that's going to be a $1,500 bond surety. Position 28, Tiffany Perry is reset to June 7th at 1:30 p.m., allowed to appear via Zoom. 29, 30, and 31 is reset to June 7th, pending a global offer, in person only at 1:30 p.m.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Judge. Did Miss Reese appear? Because I didn't see her.
She did not, but I allowed her counsel to go ahead and reset the case. Samuel Scott, position 32 was a plea.
That's
Have we
correct.
done the plea yet?
Yes.
We did.
Okay, just want to make sure.
It's still with the victim.
Yeah, oh, that's right. 33 is a demand for a jury trial reset to July 9th at 9 a.m. Position 34, Tranisha Taylor.
State requests a bench warrant.
All right, a bench warrant's granted. That's a $1,500 surety bond, 500 on each count. 35 is Torres Hernandez, reset to June 7th at 1:30 p.m. Requires Spanish interpreter. 36 Villa is null prost. 37 Waters is null prost. 38 and 39 Deron Williams is reset to June 7 at 1:30 p.m. Position 40 Williams Jacoby is reset to June 7 at 1:30 p.m. 41 Markea Williams.
State requests a bench warrant.
Markea Williams. All right, that's going to be a bench warrant, $500 surety bond. 42 Katisha Wilson is reset to June 7th at 1:30 p.m. 43 Jason Wright is reset to June 7, 1:30 p.m. or July 9, depending on what Miss Helen reports. Okay, Miss Githier is still in. Mr. August Pollack,
Yes, Your Honor.
you are free to go. Mr. Paget did not appear. A bench warrant has been issued for his arrest.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Yeah.
Should I wait or?
Why don't you text Ms. Githier and see if she needs anything from you? Otherwise, you're free to go.
When she was like, I'll only make you come one time.
We have an announcement for Mr. Johnson, Your Honor.
Yes, Ms. Guerrero.
We're gonna null process case.
All right. Mr., just 1 second. We have the alleged victim, Akela Bullock, on Zoom. Did you want an opportunity to speak with her? Miss,
We will
Miss-
speak with her, Your Honor.
Okay.
Just FYI, she has a pending matter that hers is scheduled for August 2nd.
All right. Miss, is this a cross-defendant case?
Yes.
All right. That's no reason to confirm. Miss Bullock, the case against Malik Johnson is dismissed, but you still have a pending case against you. Would you like an opportunity to speak to the prosecutor right now?
Sure.
Okay.
Ma'am.
We're just going to the breakout.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Johnson, you're free to go.
Let's get there. Did you say you wanted to go on a breakout with Ms. Bullock?
Yes.
Mr. Malik Johnson, you're free to leave the Zoom.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And Your Honor, I have an announcement regarding Ms. Bullock.
Yes, Miss Guerrero.
Yes, actually, before I was speaking to her, that I realized later on, I didn't ask if she was represented. But she is represented, but I did let her know that we're going to dismiss her case as well. I will be reaching out to her attorney.
Okay.
At the time when I was speaking, I forgot to ask if she was represented.
All right. Miss Bullock, please let your attorney know that your case is dismissed. And Miss Guerrero, if you get an opportunity, please go ahead and file the null pros so
Yes.
that we can have the case removed from the calendar.
Will do.
All right, appreciate it. Ms. Bullock, you're free to go. Ms. Guerrero, we've already gone through Ms. Katsudakis' side of the cases. If we can just start with your side. Position number 1, Timothy Batten is reset to August 7th at August 2nd.
Second
at 9
or 7th?
Is August 2nd.
Okay.
It was June 7th or August 2nd at 9 a.m.
Okay.
August 2nd at 9 a.m. I think she
Okay.
has a conflict for June.
Okay.
Miss Rothman. Okay. Position 2, Ivy Billington is actually Billington Ivy. I don't know if y'all want to file an amendment to that, but his case is reset to June 7th at 1:30 p.m. for final plea. Position 3 and 4 are reset for jury trial, July 9th. Position 5, Brookins is null prost. Position 6, carpenter, is reset to June 7 at 1:30 p.m. Required to appear in person. Position 7, Davis, is null prost. No, not null prost. He didn't appear.
State request a bench warrant.
Wait a minute. Jaquarius Davis. It's a bench warrant. This is going to be $1,000 surety bond. Okay, position 8 and 9. Felton Lamar Evans did not appear. Felton Evans.
State request a bench warrant.
All right, bench warrant issued in both cases, $500 surety on each count. Position 10 is null prost. I've just informed Ms. Fagan, so I'm removing her from the June 7th calendar.
Okay.
11 and 12, Jimmy Gilmore, Miss McLeod. I've informed her that her client, I think Miss McLeod's still on Zoom.
Yes, Your Honor, I am.
All right, he has not appeared, Ms. Kathia.
The state request a bench warrant.
All right. Anything else to add, Ms. McLeod?
Yes, Your Honor. I would ask if the court would hold off on this bench warrant and give me the opportunity to try to get in contact with my client. I have no idea why he has not appeared, and there may be a legitimate reason.
All right. You definitely can have an opportunity to speak with him. I'm just announcing a bench warrant today. On position 11 is a $500 surety. On position 12 is a bench warrant for $1,000 surety, 500 on each count. And of course, if he provides a legitimate reason, please go ahead and file a motion to set aside the bench warrant as soon as possible. So
Yes.
time is of the essence.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
And before we move on, did you wanted to ask Judge Law about next week as well, Ms. McLeod?
Oh, yes. Your Honor, I have a leave of absence filed in for next week. All of next week from the 6th to the 10th. I have a client who will be appearing, Mr. Hodge, Christopher Hodge. It's a final plea calendar next Friday at 1:30. So
Okay.
I was wondering if the court would allow him to be excused.
Yeah, I can reset him to August 2nd at 9 a.m.
I have a leave of absence in for August 1 to 11 as well.
Okay.
If it can be earlier, that's fine with me.
I'm sorry?
If it can be an earlier time, in June or July, or that's also fine with me. But I do have a leave of absence in from the 1st of August to the 12th, 11th or 12th. I'm going to the Olympics. So
no excuse.
Leave of absence.
No excuse. I can cover for you. Okay.
So I put that in a while back because I don't want any.
June 7th, is that?
That's fine. June 7th.
Okay, June 7th at 1:30 p.m.
Yes, Your Honor. I'll make a note of that.
Okay, anything else, Ms. McLeod?
That would be all, Your Honor.
All right, leaving us very, very green over here. Yeah.
I actually have 2 people on the 1:30 calendar.
Okay, perfect. All right. Enjoy your weekend, Ms. McLeod. Thank you.
You too. Thank you.
Position 13, Wesley Good did not appear.
State request a bench warrant.
All right, that's $1,000 surety. That's granted. Position 14, that's reset for a jury trial. Clarence Green and a case management order shall issue. Position 15, Hillman was a plea. 16, Amber Leigh Jackson did not appear.
She also failed to appear March 3rd, 2021, March 7th, 2022. The state requests a bench warrant.
All right. Bond set at $1,000 surety. Position 17, Miles Jackson was a plea. Position 18, Khalid Jenkins did not appear.
State request a bench warrant.
Bench warrant granted. That's a $500 surety. Position 19, Edward Johnson did not appear.
State request a bench warrant.
That's granted. It's a $500 surety. Position 20, Malik Johnson was a null pros. 21, Catherine Kelly is reset to June 7 at 1:30 p.m. Going to permit that via Zoom. And then position 22 is reset to June 7th at 1:30 p.m. in person. I think that concludes your list of cases, Ms. Kathia.
Yes.
All right. You are free to go. We are seeing you at 1:30, yes?
Yes.
All right. Okay,
All right,
we'll be in
thank you.
recess until then. Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Glanville, do we close out this session and just reconnect again?
I think it's. He just leaves you open.
All right, well, I'm leaving.
You can leave.